So now we've got this wonderful formula that we could just plug the numbers in and get the factors. And so how could your book possibly make this more complicated? Oh, here's how. They don't give you ax squared plus bx plus c. They gave you this instead. So what you have to accept is that you're going to have to put it into that format before you can use the handy-dandy formula. So in order to do that, we've got to figure out what we can simplify here and work through it and rearrange. So once again, your book loves difference of perfect squares. And if you recognize this pattern as a difference of perfect squares, you can simplify it right away without actually going through the effort of foiling it. You can go, oh, this is x minus 1 times x plus 1, so my middle terms are going to be negative x and positive x, so they're going to cancel out, and all I'm going to be left with is 3 times x squared minus 1, because it's a difference of perfect squares. So that makes it simpler right off the bat. Then brackets always suck. You want to get rid of brackets when you're trying to simplify. There's no brackets in there, so obviously they need to go. 3 times all of this. So I'm just going to go 3 times x squared and 3 times negative 1, so that's going to give me 3x squared minus 3. Now I've got a 2x on this side. In order for it to be in the format that we need, they all have to be on the same side, and I prefer not to have a negative in front of the x squared, just as a typical rule. So what I'm going to do is move the 2x over. Leave 0 on this side. That fits the format. 3x squared minus 2x, because I'm bringing it over as a negative 2x, and minus 3 on the end. Now I have it in the format that I need, so I can pick out my A, B, and C and go from there. So I can see that A is 3, so I can write A equals 3. My B is negative 2, and crazy pen. C is my negative 3. So now I've got my formula the way I need it. I've taken the numbers out, and so I can plug them into the x equals negative b plus or minus the square root, of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So x equals, b is a negative 2, so I'm going to switch that sign and make it a 2, because negative times a negative is a positive, plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 3, because that was my A, and now C is my next one, so that's my negative 3. And I should just extend this a little bit more so it's clear. And then all of that is going to be over 2 times 3. All right, we'll get rid of all these colors and just go with simplifying from here on out. So I can kind of simplify in patches within, make sure that you're not violating BEDMAS. So fortunately for us, we've got the same formula, so it'll be the same steps, so it'll be the same BEDMAS every time. I can see that 2 times 3 is 6 down here. Negative 2 squared is going to be 4, minus 4 times 3 would be 12, times negative 3, so we can write a little 12 here, times negative 3, that's going to be 36. And negative times a negative is a positive, so this is going to be plus 36 here. So we're going to end up with 2 plus or minus root 40 over 6. And I look at this and go, oh, 40 is 4 times 10. I can take the 4 out. So this thing is going to give me 2 root 10, because the 4 is going to come out, well, the square 4 comes out as a 2. So I'm left with 2 plus or minus 2 root 10 over 6. Now you're sitting at home going, oh, we have to look at that. This 2 is a 2 is a 6. We have to take a 2 out of everything. Yes, we do. So we're going to have to make it 1 plus or minus root 10 over 3. Now to get the actual value for that, we are going to have to take 1 plus root 10 and divide by 3. And then for our second value, we would take 1 minus root 10 and divide by 3. So we're going to have 2 values for x. And that's just A.